Hey y'all, welcome to the Acting Like a Mom podcast. My name is Alicia, your host, and I just got back from vacation, hence the vacation braids. This is actually my first time ever getting vacation braids, and I would highly recommend them because I didn't have to do my hair any days at all. I was a little worried at first because I got the loose pieces. What are they called? Fungali, something. I don't know. There's lots of different names, but I just kept seeing all these horror stories of like people going into the ocean and then it getting ruined. And I knew I was planning on getting in the ocean and the water oftentimes because I was trying to get this tan. If you see me, then you see this tan that I'm trying to keep for the rest of the year. So this trip is the longest we've ever been away from the kids. It was 8 days, like 8 full days. It was wild and so needed. It was adults only, Virgin Voyages, Brilliant Lady. This is not a paid ad or anything like that. This is just how my time was. It was absolutely like the food. Oh, I don't even know where to start. The food was good. There was no buffets, so the food was fresh, but it was quick. And there were so many activities, like it was impossible to keep up with everything. And I was really inspired because if you guys don't know, I used to dance and the shows were so good. The sets, the wardrobe change, the lights, the fogs, the transitions. I was like, oh, this was a very well thought out production. And I know how these auditions were. And it's like, wow, they made it. Like when you see people, whenever I see people like doing a show, I'm like, wow, they got booked. They went through the process and they did it and they made it. So they're like the best of the best of the best. Sir, Men in Black is what that is from, if you did not know. But I was also inspired because there were so many other creators. This is actually my first brand trip. Is that what I would call it? I guess it's a brand trip. And there was 70 other creators. And I'm not going to lie, I was definitely nervous at first because I was like, oh my gosh, what am I doing here? I am not a content creator. Like I post things here and there. I post the mom stuff. I have the podcast thing. And I was just like, as I was meeting everyone, I was like, oh my gosh, you guys like really do this. Like they were like, what kind of content do you create? And I was like, I'm a mom. And then it was just stressing me out. But what I really want to talk about in this episode is how great that reset was with my husband, without my kids, without any kids, because it was adults only. It helped my like nervous system. And I went to the point where I did like research because I wanted to be like, how hard is it to be a mom? And how important is it to go on vacation with your partner, which I will get to in a second. So let's just get into the episode. Hey. Welcome to the Acting Like a Mom podcast. I am Alicia, your host, and we are here to shine a spotlight on the incredible and often untold stories of mothers navigating the fast-paced world of the entertainment industry. Let's get to it. Mama. Okay, so first things first, talk a little bit about the trip. This was my first brand trip, and it was with 70 other creators and their plus ones. So there was like 140 of us. And we had this like welcome party, and it was where we kind of like met everyone. And that I think is when I was like, oh my gosh, what am I doing here? Because everyone's getting to know each other and we're all introducing each other. I don't think it hit me until we were getting to know each other and people were like, oh, what kind of content do you make? And I was like, I'm a mom. And I felt like I was coming. It didn't dawn on me that like I was there with other people who really do this and they do it really well. And I was like, oh my gosh, like they're gonna think I'm an imposter. I had imposter syndrome. That's what I had. I had imposter syndrome because I also told myself this year, on one of my goals, I said I wanted to get into this content creation space. But also, for real, we know that there's a lot of money that could be made online in these spaces. And it's like an ideal place for a mom to do things. But it is nice to create a community because I think even with the podcast, I love one of my other goals was to grow the mom community in the entertainment industry and focus on that. So I say all that to say, I started trying to do it 2 months ago, said I'd do 5 free jobs to just test it out and see, like if I like it, if I don't. And then I did one, and then I got a brand deal with vitamin water, which was super cool. I was like, oh my gosh. And then I saw this one and I was like, oh, they wouldn't pick me. And then they picked me. And I was like, oh my gosh. And also this was also last minute. I would say within like a week and a half, 2 was everything confirmed. And it was like, oh my gosh, is Jordan going to be able to go? Can we make it happen? And luckily his parents were able to watch them for 8 days, you guys. Like, I'm so grateful. It goes back to letting you know, like, it's when they say it takes a village, I feel like those are the times where it's definitely like it takes a village. Like, for this one, it would have to be family, because I don't know who I would let watch our kids for 8 days. So I say all that because I'm fairly new to this space. So going on this trip and meeting all these people that do this, when they were asking me, what kind of content do you do? And I'm just like, oh, I'm just starting. And I was like, oh my gosh, what if they find out I'm just starting? Oh my gosh. So I was just like, I'm just going to be honest. And I was like, I'm really trying to figure it out. I'm just getting into the space and trying to figure it out. And I feel like everyone was so receptive. Everyone was so like kind. It was such a unique experience. It was like a crash course of like content creation, because it was like, because I had deliverables, I had things that I had to turn in while I was on the ship, and it was like working in real time. So it was definitely an experience for me. So I definitely understand the space a little bit more, and I'm grateful because I know me, I'm a procrastinator, and whenever I make videos like the 5 free ones, whenever I do the ones that are like just for me and I'm gonna make some fun ones, they take forever or they never come out. And with this one, they had deadlines, and I was like, okay, all right. So it was great. It really like pushed me into a space that I didn't know what to do. It just kind of like forced it, because it's like you just have to try things. Because like, what's your style? Is it funny? Are you trying to be heartfelt? Is it trying to be relatable? Is it trying to be aesthetic? Like, what's the vibe? And I feel like I'm that's what I was trying to figure out. Like, I'm like, how do I merge this? How do I make this? So it was really inspiring in that way too. I'm so grateful for this. Like, how awesome is it that, I'm just starting and I had like a brand trip with Virgin Voyages. That's huge. Like, what? Like, that's so, I can't believe it, because it was, I'm not joking. This cruise was so good. There was so much to do. There's like an overwhelm, like the food. Oh my gosh. Like, I could go on and on about the food. And I want to say I didn't gain a single pound because, on cruises, it's all you could eat. And we decided that we were going to do our best to still stay aligned with our goals. So during like breakfast and lunch, we would eat light. And then for dinner, we'd eat what we want, because, there's going to be the desserts, the drinks, the food, the apps. So we did a nice balance. They gave so many options, even if you're trying to be healthy, they have really tasty options. So you didn't feel like you were getting left out. Like, you didn't feel like you were missing out on anything. It was very good. And Richard Branson was on the trip. Like, he was there for the sail away. And I was like, oh, he probably just like left. No, he actually stayed on. There was a lot of different people who ran into him, and he would play like checkers or chess in the galley where people were eating. Like, he was meeting, everyone had such good stories, and everyone that worked there had such great stories about him as well. Like, my mother passed and they sent me home and they gave me paid leave for like 3 months. Like, everyone that works there seems like it was really good. And there was this one show, I think it was called Red Hot, and it was kind of like a biography about him. And at first I was like, is it just going to talk about him and all he's done? But it was like, no, it was so interactive, and it was told such an amazing, inspiring story of even though he's had so much success, he had so many failures, bankruptcies, things that flopped, things that didn't work. He just kept going, and he seems like he just is so lively. And he's like, I don't know how old he is. I think he's like 70 something. And then he took off on a what is that called? He like parasailed away on a kite. I don't know. It was like, this man is living his best life. He just seems like a big kid enjoying life. But I just say that was another thing that was inspiring, seeing this man just enjoy life. He was so humble. Like, you would not have thought that he is who he is. But the last thing that was really cool about the cruise is like the last night, Khalees was there. Khalees had a whole set. She did a show. Like, I was looking for a friend to get photos airdropped, and they're like, oh, there's a Khalees concert. So then I was there, and Khalees, I had my goodnight braids in. I had no makeup on, and I just went in my slides and I watched Khalees perform front row. Okay. So I truly had such a memorable time. I will never forget it ever. So that's that as far as like the amazingness of the ship. But what I really got from it, besides this amazing tan, was the reset, man. The reset was so good to not have to wake up to chaos every morning. I realized, especially now, because last night was a rough night, I was like, oh my gosh, sleep is so important for your quality of life. I felt like we just had slow mornings, and I don't remember the last time we had that. We were just like moving around, like leaving and going to adventures. We left so quick. We didn't have to like pack a million bags, pack snacks like this. We were just like getting out and going, and that felt so freeing. It felt freeing for us. Like, I think as a couple, it was good for us. It was good for us to reconnect. And one thing that I did not do was look at pictures of the kids. I tried my hardest because I feel like it triggers an emotion and I don't know what it's going to be. So I get, whether it's like I might feel sad or I feel guilty or something like that. So I was like, let's not. It was until like the last day when we really started like looking at the pictures and being like, oh, because we could just sit there for like hours, honestly, and just show each other pictures of the kids. Like, it's sick. We are those people. You will become those people. It just is what it is. And I even think, him being on this trip, I saw that he got the reset that he needed. He was like making notes and writing down thoughts and making mood boards and creating, like thinking about what he wants to do when he gets back. So I think we were really able to connect with each other and connect with ourselves, because there was time that we're separate. Because a lot of times with parenthood, it's a lot of like, can I go do this? You're just asking for permission to do things. That's what it is. And we didn't have to do that. It was literally like, I'm going to go here. You could come or you could not. So it gave us this freedom that we haven't had in so long. It just felt like time was going slow. And I'm not even going to lie, I did not miss the kids until like the last day. I didn't miss the kids until the last day. I'm not even gonna lie. I was just having the time of my life with myself, with my husband, like with my peace of mind. And I was like, I know I'm going back to them, so I don't even need to think about like anything. And I think also not looking at the pictures helped a lot. I think if I looked at the pictures, I would probably miss them, but not looking at the pictures and being present was calming to my mind. Okay, so I know I told you guys I did some research, so let's get to these numbers, okay? So, no, the first one is, first of all, I want to point out that being a stay-at-home mom is equivalent to roughly 2.5 full-time jobs, which totals to about 98 hours per week, okay? And the real kicker to me is out of these 14-hour days that these moms have, there's only about 1.7 hours of free time. You guys. And mind you, this 1.7 is not consecutive. These are probably 15-minute increments, because I know that I don't get longer than 15 minutes if I am lucky to do anything by myself in my own thoughts. According to another article, taking breaks helps calm the nervous systems for moms, especially constant alertness to kids' needs can mean chronic stress and anxiety. And as a mother, I can fully vouch that I have anxiety that I have never had. I have more anxiety now than I ever had. It's a different type of anxiety. It's not a personal anxiety. It's like a overall well-being, how is the world going type of anxiety. It's a different type. And then as far as couples and vacations, we did studies on that because couples need vacations. One study that I saw said, even though family time with kids is beneficial, couple time without children had the most positive effects on parents' daily happiness. A survey reported that 42% of couples said they found their spark back when they went on vacation together. We found our spark, okay? I'm just going to say that. I'm just going to leave it there. Another thing that I think we all know is that a stronger couple means better parents. Like, the better that we are, the better that we could be for our kids. And I think that in itself is probably the single most, I think. And that in itself is the single most important thing. We become better when we are better. You can't pour from an empty cup. And we were able to fill our cups up together and individually on this trip. And it's super crucial for people to do that. So what I'm trying to say is we need breaks. Time together is important without the kids, which makes us better parents. It's like a big old math equation, you know? So let me just steer you in this direction of having a reset with your partner, even if it's something as small as like a staycation. You don't have to go on a cruise for 8 days, but if you can make it happen, because let me tell you, that was fire. I will never forget this trip. It was I've never done anything. I mean, I've never done anything adults only. I've never had an adults only kids trip. So not hearing anyone's kids was great, because sometimes hearing other people's kids kind of triggers me. I'm like, is it my kid? Even though I know it's not my kid, but I still have to like look like, all the things. I mean, you hear my kids downstairs, right? Um, and if you can't, and even if you can't do a staycation, like dates. And I think a lot of people are like, oh, you have to set up a date every week. Look, we're not there yet. Okay. We're trying our best to like make that a thing, but it adds up. Like when we get a babysitter, however many hours you get them, you can't go over that time. And if you do, you have to pay more. And so it's like, so even if you do, let's say at the least, I feel like 4 hours is the lowest you do to make a fun night. Because that's what dinner and a movie, kind of like a comedy, not like a long movie. And movies is $50. Let's say dinner and drinks, $150. Babies, you're going to spend at least $300, $400 for 4 hours. So it's like $100 hour. So you better have fun that night, okay? That's what I'm saying. But when you have different things, also do things where everything is included. That also helps too, because you don't even have to think about money. Once you're on the trip, all the money is done. All the funny money stuff is already done. You just get to enjoy yourself. I've learned that on lots of trips that I take. When things are all included, no one's stressing. We're just order another one on me, So I made a couple of actionable tips based off of my experience that I just had. One, plan a mini reset. Could be overnight away, a weekend, or even a day without the kids. Or it could even just be a day while the kids are with their grandparents or friends, whatever. Set boundaries on your trip. How much are you going to be on your phone? Are you going to look at pictures of your kids? Like, I think you got to communicate what you're both going in for. Because also, I like to be adventurous. So it's like, I want to do this. Or are we just chilling? Like, are we just Netflixing and chilling? You got to communicate that so that you guys have the same, so that you guys both know what you're getting into and you could enjoy it and you know what you're doing. Prioritize micro me times. You know how I said I get like 15-minute increments? You got to find time. And sometimes it's even just in the bathroom. You just get what you can and leave your phone out. Take your phone out. Just like have a couple thoughts to yourself. It's so important to let your mind just relax and to disconnect to the outer world and to connect to yourself. So that's another one. And this one is reflect on your imposter syndrome. Because the imposter syndrome is created by you for you. Okay. So being confident in what you bring to the table, because someone made a point. They're like, you're looking at it like, oh my gosh, they do this all the time, da da da. But they could be looking at you like, oh my gosh, how did she, and so I had but my friend put in the perspective of, yeah, that may be true. But also they could be looking at you like, oh my gosh, she got here and she doesn't even have that many, like not in a negative way, but like, look at you, you got here and you only have X amount of followers. You only have this much. Like, that's great. Like, these people have been doing this forever and they're on this amazing trip. Like, you just started. And I was like, you're right. Like, look at it. It's a positive thing. It's cool. It's great. Like, that's awesome. It's not a bad thing. So I hope that you guys could relate to this. I hope you guys understand the reset that I had. I hope that you guys allow yourself to have a reset. I hope you spend time with your partners. I hope you spend time with yourselves. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm about to go down and make this chocolate gingerbread house from Trader Joe's for Halloween. I hope you guys do the same. Okay, bye. Thank you so much for listening. You could have been anywhere, but you chose to be here with me. If you liked what you heard, put a ding on it. Don't forget to rate and review. And remember, motherhood is the best hood.